Hello there and welcome to the Burnley versus Liverpool preview on this wet and rainy Friday. If it is wet and rainy where you are, if it's not, enjoy the sunshine or whatever it is like. Hope you're going to have a good day ahead of you. Anyway, let's get into this preview and I'm going to look for what if you've got some comments or what your thoughts are, starting lineup, prediction, score prediction, all that sort of business. Get them in the comments below and let me know what you think. And also let me know what you think of my thoughts as well. So let's get into this one. Burnley in their last two games, because they played the Premier League and the Carabao Cup midweek as well. They've drawn against Wolves in the Premier League, a very, very late penalty that they thought was controversial. I think it was given by VAR in like the 94th minute, something like that. So they've drawn in the Premier League. And then they went and lost 3-1 to Sunderland in the Carabao Cup as well. But it was a much changed lineup in that game. So I'm expecting a very different and refreshed Burnley for the Premier League game. Because when I looked at the lineups, I am pretty sure it was like wholesale changes, pretty much apart from Dwight McNeil. Everybody else was pretty much different. It was almost unrecognisable. So I'm expecting, the likes of inform Ashley Barnes at the moment up front, Chris Wood as well. Tarkowski, Ben Mee, all these guys, the regulars that you see in a Burnley starting lineup, I'm expecting them at the weekend. I am expecting the very best Burnley that you can get. And what do you get with the very best Burnley when you come up against them? Well, anyone that has watched Burnley over the last couple of seasons at least, especially, obviously under Sean Dyche as well, is you're going to get a tough team, a battling team, and a team that is set up to stifle you. They do not want to let you through, and they will put as many men behind the ball as they feel is necessary. Sometimes, whether it's 9 or 10 men behind the ball, they will do what they can. And if they can catch like a big team on the counter-attack, then they will try and do that as best as they can. The last team I saw them try and do that against was Arsenal, and they did score a goal as well. I think it was something, ball came in from out wide, and Ashley Barnes, that man again, I think he scored 4 goals in Premier League games so far. He's very much the man in form. How that man didn't get an England call-up and Jesse Lingard did, I have absolutely no idea, but that's another story for another day for someone else that cares about the England squad, because I don't. Anyway, so they're going to be very tough. We're playing at Burnley as well, so it's going to be a tough game. I'm expecting a very tough game, a hard game, a battling game. I think the last couple of games that we might have played against Burnley at Burnley, the one that sticks out in my mind is Clavan getting a header at one point. It's things like these little memories that always, stick with you. But they've always been tough games. They really have. No matter whether we've been firing, we've got the strongest starting 11 that we can have. They've always been tough games, and I'm expecting nothing less when we come up against Burnley tomorrow night. So, how do Liverpool want to set up in this game? We will probably set up exactly how we always do. I remember hearing someone say that Liverpool don't always have a plan B, but plan A is pretty damn good, that we don't always need a plan B. Now this one we'll probably set up exactly how I expect us to. In fact, to be honest, I wouldn't be very surprised if we set up exactly how we did against Arsenal, the same team as well. You could argue that, maybe we could see a Shaqiri come in, an Oxlade-Chamberlain come in the midfield, and I wouldn't be surprised or opposed to those guys coming in. The only thing with that is the team that we've got right now and the team that played against Arsenal is so on form that it's difficult to take a player out and justify it well enough to replace them with someone else. Even bringing Joe Gomez in for Joel Matip or something like that, or Trent Alexander-Arnold, I can't see it. I firmly believe that if we're going to do squad rotation at all, do it after the international break, because that's when we're going to start getting the Champions League coming up, the Carabao Cup coming up. To be honest, I fairly hope that we put out very, very young teams in the Carabao Cup, because, I don't care about it. I just don't. We've already got one of the trophies I wanted this season in the Super Cup. The next one I want us to compete for is the Champions League and the Premier League. The other ones could not care less about. So, hopefully we see some squad rotation then, but up until then, and the international break is next week, I want us to play the strongest team that we can right now. And that team is Adrian, Andy Robertson, Virgil van Dijk, Joel Matip, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Henderson, Fabinho, Gini Wijnaldum, Salah, Firmino and Mane. Now, some people may turn around and say, well, why don't we put Oxlade-Chamberlain in the midfield? We absolutely could. Just tell me which player you want to take out of the midfield. because they're doing well enough in the starting 11 right now that maybe it's better to have Oxlade-Chamberlain come on later on, maybe 60th, 70th minute, depending on how the game is going, to inject a little bit of fear and pace into the midfield. I'd much rather Oxlade-Chamberlain come on as a midfielder, and if we're going to take off a Mane or a Salah, put Shaqiri on. I really would love to see Shaqiri get an opportunity somewhere, but I'm not a fan of this taking Mane off and putting Oxlade-Chamberlain in his position. If you're going to take someone off in the midfield, they tend to be doing like taking Gini Wijnaldum off and putting Milner on. Why not take Gini Wijnaldum off if you're going to, and put Oxlade-Chamberlain there, and if you're going to take a forward player off, put Shaqiri up there. Or why not a Ryan Brewster as well? Someone like that, something different, and people that actually play in the forward positions and thrive in those positions. That's what I would prefer. So that's the starting lineup I would go with. I firmly believe that that is a strong enough lineup to get a result anywhere in the league, and I feel that we can get a good result against Burnley. Now, what else do I expect from this game? It's not that I expect, but what I would love to see from this game is a clean sheet. I really would love to see us get our first clean sheet of the season against Burnley, not just because it's Burnley, but because I believe firmly that we can work hard enough to get a clean sheet, to keep them out of our goal, and I also believe that we can go forward and score the goals that we need as well. By no means do I think this is going to be an easy game at all. Burnley are a very difficult team to break down at the worst of times. So at the best of times, it is going to be very, very difficult. I'm expecting a hard game. I really am. People might turn around and look at it and say, well, they've lost 3-1 to Sunderland midweek. Completely different team. Go and have a look at the lineups that they put out in the Premier League the week before and what they put out in the Carabao Cup. It's completely different. Expect a different animal. Don't expect a wounded animal again that they played against Sunderland, because most of those players, probably 9 or 10 of those players, will not play against us at the weekend. I can almost guarantee that, unless they've got injuries to deal with. So I'm expecting the strongest Burnley ever that they could ever put out, and I'm expecting it to be tough. However, I think that we can come away from this game 2-0 victors, and we can go into the international break with 12 points, top of the table. Top of the table right now doesn't matter. It's picking up all of the points that you possibly can at the moment. And I think that we can do it. I really do think that we can do it. And it just put us in such a good place. And if we get the clean sheet, it's going to be such a confidence booster for not only the defence, but Adrian as well. I think I'd love to see Adrian get a clean sheet. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, though. How do you think this game is going to go down? How do you think we're going to line up? And what do you think the score is going to be at the end of the day? Let me know it in the comments below, if you please. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do like it and subscribe if you're new around here. Have a great day, guys, and I'll catch you later.